Hello there, welcome to video 5 of my little Halloween scrapbook mini series. This is the penultimate video. There will be one more published tomorrow, but this one is another zombie layout, though it's not nearly as gory as video or process video 2. It's not gory at all, actually. It's more of a creepy one, but it is another zombie layout. So yes, I was just showing you the picture there. It's a much better quality picture than the one I used in layout 2, just because it was taken in better lighting, really. So you can kind of see what we looked like as zombies. My friend there with the red bow in, she was visiting me at uni, which is why she is dressed slightly different to my housemates and I. Well, that's 2 of my housemates. There were another 3 as well. But yes, so you can kind of see the kind of realistic, quotation marks, zombies we were going for, and I've got like cool contacts in. And because I am biting, I wasn't actually biting, but pretending to bite my friend, I'm calling this layout Bite Me. Although I realised that a zombie wouldn't actually bite another zombie, but it's fine, it's just a picture. But anyway, so as for what I am doing, that 1212 page was already gessoed. I usually have 1 or 2 pre-gessoed pages lying around. And I just went over with the packaging technique with a load of watercolour in grey and a grey blue and a darker grey blue, just mixing all those kind of colours. And at the moment I'm going over it with some white as well, just to create this really sort of mottled effect. I was kind of going for this kind of unnatural night sky, and it'll make more sense when you see some other elements that I'm adding to this layout, but that was my kind of thing I was going for. Just then I was just splatting on some Heidi Swap Colour Shine in navy. And then I'm finishing off this part of the layout with some more white watercolour, slightly thicker than I'd used for the stuff I'd, slapped on with the packaging technique, and just sort of splatting it all over. So some is like little drops, and there's other big splats and splooshes and splots, and it just looks really cool and mottled and all that kind of thing. So down there I've got this sort of little graveyard scene that is from the Silhouette store. It's all the same one, just sized differently, and I did it in different colours and stuff. And in case you're wondering why I didn't do just one that went all the way across, I have a silhouette, I said that weird, I have a silhouette portrait rather than a silhouette cameo, so I can only cut like max 8 inches wide. So that's why I cut 3 and was sort of layering them slightly differently, and I ended up doing them at slightly different angles as well. And then I also cut those little zombie fellas, again from the Silhouette store, and then I've got my little zombie hands as well, which I used in layout 2, but these are just smaller really, and they're only in blacks and greys instead of the creepy green ones that were in the last one as well. So I'm really breathless at the moment. I'm sorry, I don't know why. Let me just okay, I'm calm. There we go. Okay, right, I had just walked up the stairs though, there is that, and I might add it's 60 stairs in my house, not like a normal house. Totally off tangent there. Right, what completely lost my train of thought. I'm sticking my zombies and my hands down is what I'm doing. You can see in the bottom corner there I'd taken a picture of where I wanted everything to be so I could sort of figure it out. And so I'm doing layers of put some hands and zombies down, put a graveyard scene down, put some more hands and zombies down, put another graveyard bit down, and repeat ad nauseum. This part took me a very, very long time, mostly figuring out where everything would go, and just, it was a long process, and I kind of wish I'd cut even more out of the video because I'm running out of things to say about it. But anyway, so yes, there we go. And I think once that graveyard scene down the bottom there is on it, you can kind of get more of the idea of what I was doing with that background. It is like a sky, but at the same time it's really, really not. I didn't want to make a realistic night sky because partially I knew I wasn't able to, but also it really just wasn't the kind of look I was going for. So yes, very sort of creepy supernatural thing I am going for in this one. So just last little graveyard strip, I don't know, going down there, little sip of a particular drink that's my favourite drink, and I'm totally addicted to it, but I'm not going to say the name in case it affects any of the YouTube advertising or anything like that, but you can see what it is. Anyways, yes, that's the graveyard bit down. I don't know if I keep the bit of video in, but I did obviously cut around the edges where it was overlapping. So for my title of Bite Me, I cut out these letters again on my silhouette. It's a very silhouette-y layout, this one. And the font is called, oh, I've forgotten. I'm so sorry. I will try and remember to put it in the description. If I forget, feel free to ask if you're interested. I'm sure I can find out very, very quickly. But yes, I cut it out on the silhouette, and what I will do is back them, but I'll show you that in a bit. Oh, and also, I am aware that at the moment in my videos, I am showing a lot of the back of my head, and I'm really, really sorry about that. It's still taking me a while to get used to my new camera set up. I spent the best part of 2 years having, you know, like a tripod in front of me and kind of being able to see the camera, and now I've got this new thing where it's directly over my head. I forget that it's there. Oh, so yes, there's me backing the little letters. It's the same thing you often see people do with like the geometric hearts and stuff, just in a slightly smaller scale, in that you sort of draw the area that you want, tracing with the cut file thingy. Good words. And then fussy cut it slightly bigger than what you've drawn, erase the pencil line, and then stick it on with some tacky glue or whatever in a fine liner, ideally bottle, and then just sticking it on really, and letting the glue roll away from you. Ah dear, I'm sorry guys, it's really late. But yes, so I will not subject you to all of the footage of me tracing around those letters and fussy cutting everything out and then using the fine liner glue, and then yes, because that's very, very, very boring to watch. But yes, just giving you an idea of what and when and why and what I did there. Right, try again. I'm really sorry if you had a really obvious break there in the voiceover, but I'm just going to explain it anyway because I just heard a really loud crashing noise and I had to go investigate it. It was just my cat knocking stuff off shelves in the bathroom, so nothing serious whatsoever, but I did have to go and check, and I really don't want to restart the voiceover, to be honest, so we're starting it from this point. So I backed the photo with a cluster of 3 papers just because of that super, super, super busy background. I didn't want it to get too lost, and I also used some of the washi strips from the little sticker book as well. Well, in all honesty, mainly because I hadn't really used much of the sticker book, and this was my second to last layout using the Spellcast range, at least this year, so I wanted to use it. And yes, and again, with the washi, it sort of helps it stick out and stuff. What have I got? Oh, that little skull there is from the ephemera pack, and I just stuck him or her onto some gold foil paper from the collection and fussy cut around it. You can't tell too much in the video, but it just helps the skull pop amongst the other stuff that I stick it on, because I wanted to make it like a feature. Not the main feature, obviously, because that's the photo, but just a feature. Then there's some more of these fussy cut bits from paper number, don't remember, but I used them in my first ever layout in this little series, and yes, they are a pain to fussy cut, but I think they're really effective because they are really, really quite beautiful. Those little potion bottles, they don't necessarily go with the theme, but because I mean potion zombie doesn't necessarily work, but I kind of just like the way they looked on there. I don't know why, but I did. Oh, and the gravestones, I didn't talk about those. Those are also from the ephemera pack, and I just made sort of a bit of a feature of them because they made me laugh, really. They've got little puns on them, like be afraid and here lies something dead. I can't remember what the puns are, but I like terrible jokes, so they made me laugh and I wanted to include them. And what else? There's Mr. Skull, or Ms. Skull, going down there, and added a floral piece and just a little cluster of things for the photo to draw your attention to the photo, because I put quite a lot of effort into like the title letters and stuff. I wanted them to be noticeable, but I still wanted the photo to be the most noticeable part of the layout. So I just stuck those down with some double-sided tape. In another universe, I probably would have used more tacky glue, but I had quite enough of it by this point. It's all over my hands, and I hate it on my hands. Then, using a couple of little sentiment phrases, there's the beware one and the caution one. The caution one I added because I think it helped with the zombie-ish theme, because there was quite, because of the graveyard scene and everything, a sort of a ghostly thing going on, and I just wanted it to be a little more zombie-esque, so I think that caution thing helped. There's also a little hand sticking up with gold foil on, but it doesn't really show on camera for some reason from the cardstock sticker peg. And then there's a little gold stars, and then lastly there's one of the last things, I fussy cut this skull sticker and then put him on, or her, keep saying that, with that phrase sticker that says things that go bump in the night, because I think that's very appropriate for this layout. And then just finishing off with some gold Heidi Swap colour shine, just to sort of add stars, I suppose, is the kind of thing I was going for there. And there we go, it is a finish. I think it's a bit different, this one, but I do kind of like it. So thank you so much for watching. The last little episode in this mini-series will be out tomorrow on Halloween, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. And for now, I'm going to go and, I don't know, go sort my cat out, okay? Thank you again, bye-bye.